Childcare, setting up your financial success in 2024. We'll share some motivation to get your finances in order and start the new year with peace of mind.
Plus, we'll get a check of just how much Arizonans are spending on a day-to-day basis and share how you and your family can save on those household bills.
We'll zero in on how younger generations are approaching money and what young people can do right now to manage their student loan debt.
Well, thanks for joining us here on 12 News. I'm Allison Rodriguez.
I'm Emily Pritchard, and we are focusing on finances in 2024. A new report suggests that many of us here in the Valley are really having a hard time dealing with inflation. The survey from online savings platform Raisin found that Phoenix has some of the most financially stressed people. Maybe you're feeling that, with 67% of city residents saying they frequently worry about their financial situation. 63% responding that they're planning to reduce their expenses this year to try to address that.
Now, all of this is coming as American credit card debt is skyrocketing. Right now, Arizonans are using their credit cards more often and racking up more debt. Well, according to Wallet Hub's latest analysis, Arizona does rank 10th highest in the nation for credit card debt, with people carrying around an average of nearly $2,800 on their cards. All right, so let's break down just how much debt Arizonans do have right now. This is according to Credit Karma. It is Phoenix customers who have a higher total debt than many others across the country, with a combined total debt of, listen to this, about $33 billion.
Pretty big number, and Wallet Hub adds it would take most Arizonans over 13 months to completely pay off their debt. If you have a large amount of debt, here are some easy ways to get a little bit ahead. First, determine your income and try to come up with a budget to keep track of your expenses. Also, carefully review your bills before paying them and try to avoid taking on any more debt. That can be so helpful. You can also consider credit counseling if you need help to start.
All right, as we do look ahead, now is the time to get your finances ready for a better year.
I sat down with Dave Ramsey team member George Camel, and George is sharing, you got to think about this, how he went from being in debt to a millionaire in less than a decade. He paid off more than $40,000 in debt.
Yeah, it sounds pretty incredible, right? But Camel says you can do this too if you forget about the money myths you think you know. He says making daily choices can have a decade worth of impacts. Take a listen.
I was the average George. I was the average millennial, $40,000 in debt, didn't come from money. My parents made money mistakes immigrating here from the Middle East. And so I was the normal guy, and I had to decide I don't want to be normal anymore because normal is broke.
How do we start today? I mean, we hear that so often. Today is the day to get started. Don't waste any more time.
Absolutely. Most people, they overestimate what they can accomplish in a year, and they fail. But most people underestimate what they can accomplish in a decade. And that was me. You got to have a long-term vision. And so that starts with these daily choices. And one of those for me is sticking to a budget. And a lot of people get a little sweat on the brow when I mention the word budget. All this is, it's an intentional spending plan. It's saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't outspend what we make. That's a plan. And so doing that's going to help you stick to that goal of getting out of debt or saving for emergencies or investing for the future.
Yeah, George says you should believe that you can have a paid-for house, that you can live without debt, and you can build wealth for your future. I guess it all starts in here, right? He tells us he is the living example of that, and he did it in less than 10 years, Emily.
And for many of us, those tips could be a lot easier said than done. If you're in need of a little bit of motivation, we are talking with local certified financial planner Allison Stein about why now is the time to get your finances in order.
Sometimes I think when we talk about finances, you're just like, oh boy, here we go again. We got to sit down and have the budget talk. Or as a couple, you're like, hey, why'd you spend that on this or vice versa? But is there anything that can motivate us and maybe really encourage us to make it fun, to do this for the betterment of our family and just to get us going on this Monday?
Yes, I know it's not everyone's favorite topic. I know it's not fun to talk about, but it is rewarding when we can have a good habit in force, when we can see that balance sheet shifting, we can see the net worth accumulating.
Allison is the owner of Stein Wealth Management in Scottsdale. She is encouraging all of us to take the steps now. She says it is key to start taking control of what you are spending and also investing. She says stop procrastinating, take that first step. And here's an important part: do not be scared.
Sometimes people can't afford to save until later in life, and that's life. Understand where you are and take small, actionable steps moving forward. It's all about getting started, and if we can be 1% better every month or every year, then we've made progress.
Allison shares we can do this by understanding where you are with your income, bills, debt, and savings. Make a real list of your wants and needs to form that budget and check that you are maxing out your investments. You can also take advantage of credit card rewards and points, but only do that if you can't afford to pay your bill before you start racking up that high interest. Allison also says the biggest thing we can all do is to take that small step and continue to build on that in the future.
Well, tax season is just around the corner, and there is now a way for some Arizonans to file their taxes for free. The IRS Direct File Pilot Program, that's a first-of-its-kind project, and it allows eligible Arizonans to file their state and federal returns directly through the IRS Direct File Program. So Arizona is one of the 13 states participating in this program. It'll kick off January 2024. Right now, it does cost on average $240 for an American to file their taxes. So this really could be some huge savings for some, Emily.
For many of us, much of our monthly income goes straight to our bills. Ouch, that always hurts, doesn't it? Still ahead, we will share some ways you can trim down your electric bill.
Plus, we're going to take a look at just how much it really costs to buy a new home right here in the Valley and the steps you can take to lower your monthly mortgage payments.
Does your teenager or young adult have enough savings stashed away? What young people can do right now to build a solid foundation for their future.
Money, it's only money. Money, it's only money. What a deal we're offering in silence.
Welcome back. Today we are sharing some ways that you can save on your bills.
All right, how good does that sound? Well, right now, new numbers are showing people living here in Arizona, they're spending more on monthly bills than the average U.S. household.
The bill pay service Doxo ranks Arizona at number 21 among the most expensive states. Researchers found the average household in our state spends more than $2,000 per month just on bills. That's 38% of Arizonans' income going straight towards those bills. And that's about $75 higher per year than the U.S. average.
So we are sharing some tips that you can take to cut your utility costs down a little bit. First off, you want to check with your utility company. Many have incentives that are going to help lower that bill. You can also install a programmable thermostat, switch to LED light bulbs, unplug every unused electrical device. I know that kind of sounds annoying, but great tip, especially if you're going to be gone, maybe for a few days. And also take shorter showers. If you are looking to cut costs elsewhere, make a budget and make sure you stick to it. That's key.
Thousands of Americans are dealing with outstanding medical bills, but there are some steps you can take to avoid overpaying or getting stuck with charges that you just cannot afford. We're hearing from experts on how to keep your medical expenses under control. Many advise not to pay your medical bills until you cross-check them for errors. Also, ask for an itemized bill from your healthcare provider or your insurance company. Remember, you are guaranteed to get one under federal law. And try to see a medical provider in your insurance plan's network. Also, make sure your medical provider has submitted a claim under your current health insurance plan, especially if you recently changed jobs or possibly insurers.
Maybe you're in the market for a new home. Well, if you are, it's going to cost you. We're breaking down a new report that found Phoenix is among the top 10 cities that saw the largest jump in price per square foot. All right, this is all according to HomeBay. Here's what you need to know. Phoenix ranked 6th over the last 5 years. They say Phoenix saw a 62% increase in price per square foot. Now, back in 2018, the average price per square foot, that was $162. Now, you're looking at about $263. Okay, so if you're wondering, hey, I need some good news here. Well, it's that although Phoenix did see that jump, the city only ranks 16th when it does come to highest price per square foot. Now, for most people, housing is their biggest monthly expense. And if you have a mortgage, there are some ways that you can lower that payment. Okay, first, ask about getting rid of that mortgage insurance. Experts say it doesn't protect you financially, and it can be a hefty fee coming from your mortgage company. You can also look into refinancing your mortgage, or if you just can't afford your mortgage right now due to a major life event, it happens, right? Well, you may qualify for a mortgage loan modification that can help you change the terms of your loan to help you avoid foreclosure.
As many parents know, it can really be difficult to find reliable childcare at a really decent price. In Maricopa County, the average weekly cost at local childcare centers can be anywhere from $150 to $250. And childcare can be expensive for many reasons, including its location, the type of care needed, operational expenses, and also trying to keep ratio of children to adults low. But the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors has approved a new partnership. They're trying to help county employees with the climbing cost. 12 News journalist Jade Cunningham is here with more.
Maricopa County is announcing a new partnership with Childcare to help with childcare for its employees. The new facility will be here at West Madison Street in downtown Phoenix. The facility is open to those 6 weeks to 5 years. It will be open 7 days a week and then eventually will stay open for 24 hours a day. Now, this new facility is not yet built. Construction is set for early next year, and then it will be open hopefully in 2025.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics has shown a 70% increase in egg prices within the last year. Now, that has led to more people starting to raise their own chickens. Well, this is not a light commitment. For starters, it does take about 4 to 6 months even to get eggs, and it costs about $200 to get things started. But for some Valley families, having their own eggs means financial peace of mind. 12 News journalist Jen Wall explains this back to basics money move.
Yeah, when you think of downtown Mesa, the first thing that comes to your mind probably is not raising chickens and getting eggs the old-fashioned way, but a local shop is helping people do just that, even with the smallest of outdoor spaces.
How often do they crow? Whenever they feel the need.
For Faith Longenecker, shopping local for food is more than just supporting small businesses.
To know that where it's coming from, how it's raised, that it's good for you.
Her young daughters tag along with her, getting real-life hands-on lessons with the animals.
Do you like your chicken?
Longenecker is one of dozens of customers who now raise their own chickens in their backyards for eggs and more.
And we love it. It's great for the family. We love being able to have our fresh eggs.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics reporting egg prices have grown by about 70% in the last year. While saving money is a reason some have turned to taking egg matters into their own hands, Inspire Farms owner Tiffany Lilly believes it's more than that.
Everybody's wondering where their food is going to come from in the near future.
Lilly's store specializes in organic feed for farm animals that's corn and soy free, and local goodies from around the community.
So we bring in as many local products and local farmers as we can so people can buy their milk and their butter and their cheese and their meat.
She says for those interested in raising chickens, start by checking with your HOA and city ordinance. She estimates it'll cost about $200 to start.
I always recommend that the first dozen of eggs you collect goes to the closest neighbor, and the second dozen goes to the next closest neighbor. And that way when the accidental rooster shows up and crows, they're upset for a second, and then they're like, oh wait, she's got those awesome eggs. And then they're like, it's all good.
Happy neighbors like Longenecker and her growing family, who were thankful for this alternative with the soaring cost of groceries.
There's a lot of times that we're stockpiled in eggs and we don't have to worry about it. I haven't had to buy store eggs in 2 years.
So much success, they're in the market for more.
Now, the spread of the avian flu is one of the big reasons that the egg prices have skyrocketed. Now, even though farmers have gotten things under control, experts say we could see something like that spike again this spring as wild birds start to migrate. For now, we're in Mesa, Jen Wall, 12 News.
After the break, we're learning more about the loan forgiveness available for students right now. And we'll take a closer look at just how much Gen Z, which are those young people born between 97 and 2012, how much they're stashing away for their retirement.
Plus, we are chatting with one of Forbes' top creators of 2023. We're talking about your rich BFF, and she's sharing what you should be asking your boss for right now.
Let me show you the money. It's all about the money. Let me show you the money. Money, money, money.
You know, the cost of college has been going up over the last 3 years, and because tuition is so expensive, keeping the cost of living down is so important. So in case you're wondering, here is where Arizona schools rank on the most wallet-friendly college towns list. Well, Tucson is the least expensive here. Tempe a little bit pricier, but nothing compares to Flagstaff. That is the most expensive college town right here in Arizona. In case you're wondering, the most wallet-friendly college town in the U.S., that is Logan, Utah.
Something else for college students to keep in mind, student loan payments. I reached out to local financial advisor John Edwards with Edwards Wealth Management to ask how to be prepared for those monthly bills. He shares it really boils down to 2 things. That's your servicer and your address. Take a listen.
Some borrowers, this will be their first time making a payment. And for a lot of people too, you know, just like your mortgage, the servicer can change. So you want to make sure you know who that is and that they're getting regular correspondence to you, because a lot of the important things will come in the mail. There's people now who are getting notices that they are eligible for forgiveness.
As John mentioned, know that servicer, that's who you are paying, and do not forget to update your address with them so you make sure you receive what they are sending you. And if you're thinking, wait, I really want to save some money or have my payment lowered, John shares there are a number of loan repayment plans that are available right now, and you can check some of them out on this website right here behind me. It's studentaid.gov. There's a tool on this website you're looking at where you can calculate what you do qualify for. John shares that under the new SAVE plan, some people or families can lower their payments down to $0 a month if you hit certain thresholds, like making just under $33,000 a year, or if your family of 4 earns just under $68,000 a year. We want to remind you of that website. It's studentaid.gov.
Well, it turns out young people are financially struggling right now, forcing so many to change their spending habits. It's according to a new survey from Bank of America. They found more than half of Gen Z say a high cost of living is a barrier to their financial success. While day-to-day expenses may be tough, Gen Z still has options to manage their money wisely. So financial experts suggest stashing away what you can now and get in the habit of being a consistent saver. Also, start investing for your retirement now. No, it seems many years away, but you know, it could be here before you know it. And any money you invest right now, it's going to have more time to accumulate interest. Also, resist the urge to give into FOMO. This is advice for all of us. So many people feel pressured to spend amid a fear of missing out, but it is best just to cut back on that non-essential spending. Now I want to tell you about a new report coming from Bankrate that's suggesting Gen Z and millennials are hopeful about their retirement, despite some studies showing they just aren't saving enough to reach their goals. All right, so We did some digging on this. We found some tips that can get your savings back on track. First off, you got to start now. Time is of the essence. It's your biggest ally when it does come to saving for your golden years. And every year you wait could put you further behind on your goals. Next up, understand which retirement accounts you may already have. You want to look into your employer's 401k and maximize those accounts to get the most out of your savings. And lastly, this is a hard one, gotta stay the course. Consistent contributions to your retirement savings will guarantee a more secure future.
If I was a rich girl, na 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 na. See, I'd have all the money in the world if I was a wealthy girl.
We'd all like to be a rich guy or girl. In order to do that, we all have to take smart steps to get there. Right now, our favorite Wall Street girly is helping us to take one of those very first steps. On Instagram and TikTok, Vivian 2 goes by the name Your Rich BFF. Vivian now has 2.5 million followers on TikTok and more on other platforms. Forbes named her one of 2023's top creators, and she is motivating us to make a change for the better. Do you have any fall spending tips to help us get rich by maybe Christmas or New Year? You're our rich BFF, so we need your help.
Yeah, I would say there are two really big tips that I recommend that you can start right now. Start a sinking fund. On average, the average American spends roughly $1,000 on holiday gifts every single year, and that's a ton of money. And it's really, really hard to take $1,000 out of your bank account mid-December when you're like, oh shoot, I have to buy 10 people gifts. It's a lot easier to start setting aside a small figure of money, whether that be $5, $10, $20, $50, $100, whatever you plan on doing.
And Vivian says you can start saving now to help with that holiday spending next year. Vivian suggests putting a little bit away every month into that high yield savings account. And then she says what she calls the sinking fund can really grow and also gain. Then when holidays or unexpected purchases pop up, you're not pulling right out of your pot that is your weekly or maybe your monthly budget. It's a totally separate account. And here is her other tip. Remember to ask for a raise before the end of the year and not when everyone else is asking.
Everybody likes to ask around December when it's year-end reviews, but it's hard to stand out then because your boss is thinking about all of these people who are asking. If you ask now, you can indicate that money is a priority for you, and that's how your boss can make you feel valued.
Your rich BFF says, remember this, you can only save as much as you can earn. And your rich BFF says if you start those two things today, you'll already be in a better place tomorrow. And isn't that what we're all trying to do? Save a little today and have a great tomorrow. We're looking forward to that. And thank you for putting your trust here in us. We share money saving tips every Monday right here on 12 News.
So we do hope you join us every day for that. And also remember, we're always on at 12news.com, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and of course our social media channels.